Alright, we're back at it again. So we're gonna play this deck, which is kind of terrible, but I really want it to work. So we'll see how this goes. It's a blue-green red deck that tries to play Creeping Mold as much as possible, mostly to troll your opponent. Hasn't really worked out well so far, but I want to see if I can at least get a game where I play like a bunch of Creeping Molds successfully. And then we might go back to either white-green or Abzan to get our rank back up if we start losing. At rank 39. This is gonna be rough. Not a bad hand though. I got a Creeping Mold and a Jace. So let's give this a shot. Guessing he's gonna die. Who knows? Yep. Oh well. I kinda wanna say screw it. Let's get a forest so we can get Chandra in play. Alright. Actually, I think next turn might just Creeping Mold his blue-red land. That sounds pretty good. Or nah, let's get Chandra out there. Now I think we'll get Chandra out there, and we can Geist Blast whatever threat he plays, and then we'll be able to use Chandra's 2 red mana ability. And copy the Creeping Mold with Geist Blast. And we lost our own Wandering Fumarole, so not too bad. Ooh, here we go. Seeing she's going to point the damage at Chandra. And that's just Scry 1, right? Yeah. Okay. So I think what we do here, go up 1. And then we'll just Geist Blaster. next turn we got the Creeping Mold. Topping it with Geist Blast. Gonna be fun. Oh. He's gonna get some damage through on us. That's okay. Get rid of 2 of his land. Including the Fumarole. We'll do the Fumarole. And I want to say the Mountain. Let's get him off of his red mana altogether. What is taking so long? There we go. Alright, let's get that into our hand. That on top. I'll try that. Ah, nuts. I should have done that first. Oh well. That's sad. We got another land on him. Oh, yeah. Although I think I actually have a creature target now that I think about it. So that wouldn't have worked. No reason to cast that. Okay. That's fine, I guess. We want Oblivion Sower on top. That's what we want. I don't know if we need 2 thing in the ice. Ooh. Let's postpone that a little bit. Fortunately, if we cast this, we have to kill our own guy. Sad. We let him draw 3. I'm gonna gamble on this. That probably wasn't worth it. Though we did avoid him drawing Jace. So unless he drew another Collective Defiance, I think we win. Let's find out. Did this deck actually work? Against a rank 39 too. Alright, let's try that. Let's try this again. Again, the double creeping molds. I probably jumped the gun on playing that Eldrazi red-blue spell on his Gear Hulk. But I guess it's easier to say in hindsight since I would have been able to cast that into the Maw of Hell, getting rid of a land and his Gear Hulk. If I hadn't drawn that, then having his Gear Hulk in play would have been a little more problematic. Don't mind George. Here we go with the timeouts. Come on, find us a match. Alright, we got Homeless Jace. Actually, I think I might be Homeless Jace too. Now that I think about it. Didn't bother giving this deck an avatar. $38. What's going on? Xbox matchmaking is actually working. This hand. Fever Visions is really good. It's a lot of land though. We have Fever Vision so we can maybe draw out of it. And we're on the play, which is nice. Alright, let's draw a creeping mold for that thing. Oh no. Always more land. That seems to be the rule. If your opening hand has 5 or more land in it, you're gonna draw land for the rest of the game too. See? It's just how it works. There we go. Land destruction. And he doesn't really have any plays. Oh, yes, he does. Okay. There's something. Ooh. Oh man, this is tough. I think we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna go full on Landy. Get Creeping Mold in my hand. The Maw of Hell on top. And that way we're gonna be getting some good 2-for-1s here. He's not really putting a lot of pressure on us. On me. Seeing us. I'm the only one playing. Yeah, this is looking pretty saucy. I don't think there's any need to cast Unsubstantiate right now. So maybe he casts a spell? 3, 4... Unsubstantiate that, I can make him discard a card on his turn. Yeah, let's go for it. A few times Unsubstantiate gets you some card advantage. And we're gonna Creeping Mold that guy. Oh man. So I think we Creeping Mold his other blue-green land as well. Not Creeping Mold, into the Maw of Hell. And get rid of one of his guys. We drew out of this kind of bad hand pretty nicely. I guess this card's a little weird to have in here. I think the idea is we can turn one of their lands into a wastes, but it also gets rid of a planeswalker. I'm not really quite sure about that one though. So one got a green. I think we... Okay. Well, we are keeping pace with him so far. Let's see. I think we go for Oblivion Sower, and then we'll wait on the second into the Maw of Hell. Because this can give us... it's not going to give us any land. Okay. It's too bad. Okay, he's playing a Flicker deck. Well, poop. Alright, I guess we into the Maw of Hell again on my turn. Alright, what are we at now? 8 mana? Well, this isn't actually quite working so far. pretty nice, actually. Let's see. So we can cut out Nissa. Find a land, I guess. Going to lose our blue token, probably. Unless we can get a land off the top. Right. And we discard. I don't want to discard this thing. We're at 9 mana. Next turn we have Ulamog. Yeah, I saw that coming. Okay. Let me think here. We have Chandra out. We can get him down to 2. Unsubstantiate his creature. And then if he tries to activate the Thopter, we can unsubstantiate that as well. Think I like that plan? The other plan is Ulamog. Could just bounce it with a second Reflector Mage, though. And we won't be able to play it on our next turn. I think Chandra is actually the safer option. So... now the question is, do we attack into his Reflector Mage and just hope to kill it off? That way we have 2 unsubstantiates left in our hand. Put him down to 5. Think that's better. Down to 5. Although with him at 2, no, I think we go with this. Okay. Oh shoot. Uh-oh. I took too long. That's not what we wanted to do. Well. That's my fault. I took too long. We can at least do that. Okay. My bad. Now I think we Ulamog. What are those two? So now he has a choice of either playing the life gain creature or his Reflector Mage. I don't think he has any outs. I think we did a good enough job on his mana this game. One thing to be concerned about is him being able to flicker his Reflector Mage and take care of both tokens that way. But then I can just get Fever Visions out. I don't think he can kill me on my turn. Or he's just gonna have 2 blockers. That works just fine. Ah, there we go. So we want to turn that to his hand. Oop, whoops. Oh well. What just happened? Oh, there we go. Weird, it like paused it right in the middle of the resolution. Two times in a row with this deck we're winning. And against high-ranking players too, I was not expecting that. Hopefully we'll find a match this time around and not be waiting forever. It's got a timeout eventually. Jeez. When it gets into this state, you can't really cancel because then it's stuck on the waiting screen forever. Like, actually forever. Searching for other players will eventually time out. But maybe we'll take a little break and I can go through the deck list, and at that point we'll actually be able to find a match. Alright, no games found. Okay, this is the janky concoction I'm using right now. So we've got Jace, and the primary reason for Jace being in here is to be able to discard, what's the name of that spell? Geist Blast. Be able to discard Geist Blast, and then use its -3 to be able to recast your Creeping Mold, or Into the Maw of Hell. Destroy more land. Thing in the Ice is good for stalling the early game, and we also play a lot of instants and sorceries, and we can use those to bounce creatures. It becomes Awoken Horror, and ideally if we've destroyed enough of their land, they will not be able to recast those creatures. Sylvan Advocate's in here just because he's a solid creature. Good for holding down the fort in the early game. We don't really have a whole lot of early game plays. Tilling Time to try to dig for some land destruction spells or whatever we need. And also works good with Thing in the Ice. Substantiate, way to stall the game. Also be able to bounce creatures that maybe they can't recast if we've destroyed their land. Nissa, no, just a solid green creature. Not totally sure about Imprisoned on the Moon. It hasn't really worked out terribly well so far. But if they have a man land, we can turn it into a waste, and it's also good for dealing with opposing planeswalkers. Fevered Visions. The idea is we're gonna keep their hand full, because by destroying their lands, they're gonna be limited as to what they can play. Geist Blast for killing things and copying Creeping Mold. Radiant Flames for handling the early creature rush. Brutal Expulsion helps deal with planeswalkers. It's a nice 2-for-1. And again, we can return things to their hand with Fevered Visions out. That's good. Creeping Mold is kind of what I built this deck around. Mainly to destroy land, but with Kaladesh there are a lot of artifacts that are really good, that are good targets for Creeping Mold. I think it's a pretty good card right now. This is the only deck I run it in. Chandra, being able to cast the instants and sorceries off the top of our library is good. All our abilities are useful in this deck. Getting that 2 red mana can make it so that we could Creeping Mold one turn, and the next turn ramp up with the 2 mana and be able to... Sorry, Geist Blast one turn, and the next turn be able to Creeping Mold and copy it with Geist Blast. Green Ward and Marasa to get our Creeping Mold back. Oblivion Sower, pull land off the top of their deck. Rush of Tentacles, it's a good reset button. Also works pretty nicely with Green Warden of Marasa. Into the Maw of Hell, more land destruction also helps handle pretty much any creature in the game. Chandra is a good sweeper and finisher. And then our final land destruction spell, Ulamog, which we can kind of ramp into with Oblivion Sower and Nissa, and also we have like lots of stall tactics to the late game where we can get Ulamog out. And that's pretty much the deck. Let's see if we can find a game. The one weird thing about playing Imprisoned on the Moon that I don't really like is that it's a mana denial deck, and then if we use it on a threat like a creature or planeswalker, we're just giving them another land. So it's a little bit counter to what the deck is trying to do. Considering that, I might see if there's a better card that I can put in its place. It doesn't seem like, hopefully we're not stuck on waiting forever. I think I did it early enough. That's not good. Alright, I'll be right back. We have to restart.